Hello, everyone. Today on Digging Deeper, we're going to be talking about what do you want? This is a question that Jesus asked various people at least 3 times in the Bible, in the stories that we have there that we read. The first one is from John 1, verse 35 through 42. I need to get better at giving y'all scripture references in these videos. Always look around where they're posted, and hopefully they'll be in the notes or something. In John 1, this is when Andrew and another disciple, they think the disciple John, started following Jesus. It was the day after he had just been baptized by John the Baptist and the dove had come down on him. He had gone back the next day, and Andrew and John saw him walking, and so they started following him. And I guess Jesus knew they were following him because he turned around and he said to them, "What do you want?" Well, they wanted to know where he was staying. Kind of a weird question, isn't it? But basically, they were inviting themselves to go with him to his house or where he was staying so that they could talk and visit with him longer. And he said to them, "Come and you will see." And so they went and they spent the afternoon with him, talking and getting to know him and all about Jesus. Kind of a special time because his ministry had not yet started. And so they were the first ones that got to know him on a really intimate level. And they went back and told others about him later. Okay, so another place in the Bible where Jesus asks, "What do you want?" comes from Mark chapter 10, verse 46 through 52. This is when a blind man was sitting on the side of the road begging, and a large crowd come by. And so he's begging and he's listening, and he's like, "Oh my goodness, Jesus is in this crowd somewhere." And so he starts yelling out, for Jesus, Jesus, louder and louder, like, "Oh, hush, hush." They were trying to get him to be quiet and hush him up. But Jesus heard him, and they said, call him over here." And so they said, "Hey, dude, this is your lucky day. Hop up. We're going to take you over. You get to see Jesus." And Jesus asked him, "What do you want me to do for you?" And the man said, "Rabbi, I want to see." And so at that moment, Jesus healed him, and he said, "Go, your faith has healed you." He knew that, from the things that he had heard, that Christ could heal him. And so he believed that, and he wanted it to happen to him, so he called out for him. Now, another time is just, let me see if I got these in order. Okay, so it happened a little bit before the one I just told you. It's also from Mark chapter 10, but this is verses 34 to 40. Again, we have 2 of his disciples here, James and John, and they were brothers, the sons of thunder, as they are sometimes known. And they approached Jesus, and they said, "Jesus, we want you to do for us whatever we ask." Jesus said, "What do you want me to do for you?" Well, they wanted one to sit on his right side and one to sit on his left side. And Jesus is like, wait a minute. I'm not sure you know what you're asking for here, that you can drink from the cup that I'm going to be drinking from later on. So his answer to those 2 was a no, that wasn't something that would fulfill, his plan and glorify him. So I'm asking you now, what do you want? Search deep down in your heart and get in touch with your deepest desires. And when you know what you want, approach God and ask him honestly for that. This leads to a deeper relationship between you and God, whether you get the answer you're looking for or not. Sometimes we get a yes. The desires glorify him and point you and others to his kingdom. Sometimes we get a no. It's not in his plan, and it's not for his purposes. His purposes would not be glorified in fulfilling our request. Sometimes he has something else in mind, and sometimes he wants us to wait. But again, whether you get the answer you want or not, name your desires to God and present them to him, and you will have a fuller, richer relationship with him. God bless. Bye-bye.